Tanin Auto Electronics here. Now, I'm going to show you how we actually waterproof or water resist these Fitbits. We've already replaced the battery on this one, so we're going to be good to. And then also, something you should do is test your buzzer. Make sure that when you start the timer, it vibrates. If it's not in here the correct way, it'll rattle. So you want to make sure it's seated down exactly where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, you'll get a nasty rattle like that after you put everything back together. So just make sure it's in there, secured. And obviously, when you put this all together, it holds this down so it doesn't vibrate. But you want to make sure that's seated in there how it should be. Okay. So, as the other video showed, I'm just going to do exactly what that said. Here's our silicone glue. You can use any type of silicone. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff. So I'm going to try to get this camera out of the way and then show you what I do. And again, this one is actually waterproofed. This has been like this for about 3 months, and all the time I'm swimming. I'm in lakes, rivers, whatnot, and it's totally fine. So I'm just gonna start. Oh yeah, I forgot. So this little hole here, barometric pressure. The barometric pressure sensor is, I think it's on the back side of this board, so we can't see it. But so the first step, like I was saying in the other video, you put a drop like that, and then just use your finger to flatten it down or push it into the hole. So you can see right there. And then if you look on this side, you'll see it. You'll kind of see it coming through the hole on the bottom. So I'll do that. There's a second time, and I'll push that. Just kind of flatten it off with your finger, and then I'll do it one more time just to make sure we've got enough in there. And then just smooth it off with your finger. You can clean this up later. I mean, it's not permanent. If you get silicone on the outside of this. I do want to find a paper towel. Okay, so, and again, you can look underneath there, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see it coming through the bottom. So that portion is complete. That's the only place that water can get in outside of this thing. Everything else down here is sealed up. And then you have this little, I don't know if this is rubber or some kind of plastic composite, but this is, I guess, a basic water or elements sealing that seals this to the band, but that's not going to protect from water. And then water also gets through this piece here, so I'll show you how to do that on here. Just avoid the bottom, the glass part. Don't get any down there. But just pick a side and start. It's okay to get it in the screw holes. That's even better because it seals the threads. And we have not tested this to any certain depth or pressure, so I cannot tell you if you can dive with this thing or how deep you can go with it or anything like that. So now here's the button part. That there's like a little piece of silicone or rubber And you want to get the silicone, just really get it in there, just like that. Any excess is going to squeeze out, and then you can just clean it up. You can see my coating already, just a nice layer around. You can use a toothpick if you want, or just your finger, or I mean whatever. Whatever you want to use is fine. Okay, and then I'll finish up this corner here. This camera keeps going out of focus. And then the other side of the button, or there's no button, but it's the other side of it. All right. So we've avoided the lens, the glass on the bottom, and we have a nice coating all the way around where this is going to sit into. So if everything looks good, and it's going to squish out obviously when you screw this together too, so okay. So now what I'm going to do is put this back into the housing. Make sure this tab goes over, what it should go over here. Alright, push it straight down and it should click. Make sure you see the silicone squeezing out of every little hole. That's good. Make sure the button is seated down and the button still works. Okay. And then again, you can use you don't even have to do this, but you can use your finger just around the cracks to make sure we've got every possible entry point sealed off. And now when you push this down like this, you want to put the screws in right away so it squeezes and it's a good tight fit, and then let this dry for 24 hours or however long you feel is necessary. And then one more thing I do is it's right along the screen here where the screen meets the band. I'll force silicone into that little gap on both sides. Then use your finger to push it in. Push in the sides here. Just make sure we're fully covered. And that's it. You can wipe off all the excess. Comes right off. And your Fitbit is now water resistant. That's the biggest complaint I've had with Fitbits, is that you cannot take them in the water. Someone said you could, there's a video of it, but I took it in the water once and it was toast after that, because water gets in that little hole right there and then leaks all over the circuit board. Alright, so I'm going to put the screws in and let it sit 24 hours or 48 hours, something like that. Make sure it's all dry, and that's it. Your Fitbit is now water resistant. Enjoy.